offhanded comments on LS Mark, who was 16 at the time. Speaking with him and reading this message and comparing it to the past actions of Cosmodor, it was at first hard for Mark to come to the term that Cosmodor tried to groom him. But thankfully, he's out of his life. If there's anyone else who is a victim of Cosmodor, it is good to speak up as you're not alone, and your voice matters. Thank you for everyone who is a part of this video. I'm glad you watched till the end, so please, have a good day. Crowdfunding on the internet is always a gamble, even from trusted people. We have seen many cases of projects being funded, yet not delivered for one reason or another. But as for failed concepts, what happens to those ideas? Does the creator move on for another project? Or do they perpetually toil away on something that never worked the first time around? Meet Jonathan Rosansky, or as he's better known online as the internet cartoon critic, the mysterious Mr. Enter. He had such high hopes for a living in a cartoon. $350,000? Was that goal achieved? And if not, is he still pursuing the idea? Hello? I'm Daft Pina, and this is Growing Around Mr. Enter's Failure. I mean, sure, if you look at the title, you can guess how it went. Join me in figuring out who Mr. Enter was first. Born in 1992 in Massachusetts, Mr. Enter used to be known as a Brony reviewer and was an active member of the Brony analyst community. Subsequently, all of his reviews back in 2013 were just pony related. However, his first unfortunate animated property,
would know better and throw it in the trash. These three do not deserve to have jobs. They deserve to be fired immediately and blacklisted.
And so with that, he stopped making MLP content to focus on animated atrocities as well as admirable animation, where he talks about animated things that he likes. Also of note, in 2016, he hired his first editor, and his videos are better. Still making content to this day, he stopped making admirable animations, branched out into some live-action film reviews, and even made a better review series on his channel, Psychocracy. Every series revolves around social media on the internet, but those are the positives that hurt Mr. Enter. Probably he did like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. As he was a lot more harsh and hateful. Harassment from the fans. Remember, this is children's cartoons. But with all of his years critiquing animated television shows, did Enter have any ideas? Enter was writing the 55th episode of his review series, Animated Atrocities. And in this one, he reviewed something called Shorty Marks. This was a 2006-2007 anthology series on the Disney Channel, pilot. And the idea they called the universal of the parents and kids. You could say it's like but it's not. In his review, Enter, and he did other videos, gives it a scathing critique, declaring this is the oldest concept of people who made it. He even said,
"This concept is great. In fact, I really think that someone should rule with this again. Just keep the kids as kids and adults as adults. Just flip their roles. That would make it awesome for them."
That line caused the director to focus over 6 years to discuss the idea. Doesn't get into it. And no, there was no prior name. Back time a little bit. During Mr. Enter's MLP days, he met an artist named And after, he drew a comic based on Mr. Enter's writing works. And with that, they became acquainted, making reviews for the show. They put their minds together to work on it. That's right. Growing around is not just Mr. Enter's property. It's as well. Mr. Enter was the writer, Neo being the art asset creator, storyboard artist, and even the overall product manager. In July 2014, AOP script and character design with Enter, the Disney show, Disney and or Cartoon Network. It was never specific. When interviewing Neo Fla, some of the details are a bit spotty since this was 6 years ago. To get more stuff done, Neo added some volunteers to produce more art for the show. At the time, working on it, the art assets, the voice actors were all just volunteers. Working for the pilot did, the Dunn family, Robert returned as Sammy and Timmy as kids. Later on, Timmy changed to Max. But here's the catch. In this world, kids rule. They drive, work, and dictate the lives of adults, with the original pilot following Robert and Linda failing a class? Yes, once you become an adult in this world, you school forever? And basically, you lose all your human rights. God, that seems like a nightmare and a terrible place to live in 1718. Progress is as awful as the premise, as in 2015, while Neo was redesigning the characters, he calculated that the pace they were going at, it would take them nearly 7 years to compile. That would make it about 2022 with the team they had. Shortly after, due to personal reasons, Neofla quit in 2015, with the team dispersing as well. Behind it to help fund comics and idea. In 2016, the project, but having some quarrels with the concept, sent Mr. Enter a document Going Under My Skin, which detailed all the issues he had with the project. But as per request from Neofla, I can't show the document in full, but I can give some generalities. Criticize the world, the ramifications, kids and script. Well, he actually listened and began to retool the project. But instead of working on a pilot, they shifted focus to shorts. Neoflow's reasoning was,
since the team wasn't interested in working on the project anymore, we moved on to try to do shorts in that world as well. And we're like, well, if we can't do shorts, we're not going to be able to do a pilot.
And in April 2017, we redesigned the characters another time, and the team did their best with a short. Sadly, however, they weren't able to complete a short the way they wanted to. The second time, Neoflo leaving the project was fun. June 20th, 2018, Mr. Hunter released an Indiegogo trailer for his idea of growth. Yes, instead of, say, producing a short to see what you're capable of, Mr. Enter asked for $350,000. That amount is for like a series of episodes. Pilots and even Family Guy. Asking for $350,000 was just the start of the series. The story itself being at least 22 minutes in length, because in an interview, Mr. Enter said that he isn't capable of writing anything short.
With the time limit, it allows me to really get into certain issues and the nuances in them. Plus, it is a personal weakness of mine. I have a hard time writing things short. Like, we definitely tried for an 11 or a 7 or even shorter minute pilot, but I had a hard time creating an entire coherent story in that amount of time.
And despite this being a pilot, it's not going to be pitched to Disney or Cartoon Network, as Enter has expressed distaste with networks and how they retain their rights for properties. Also, part of the reason why he went with Indiegogo is because the book wasn't as profitable as he once hoped. Not many people knew that the book, or even this Indiegogo, existed.
What do you mean? I thought he was the cartoon reviewer of 2018.
No, you're thinking of Pan Pizza.
Then why have I not heard of it?
Well, Mr. Enter doesn't believe in marketing.
How will marketing growing around go?
I don't know how necessary that would be.
If you want a good example of indie promotion, Divsy Pop has a few Twitter accounts for his show, and even does frequent merch promotions to help pay for the show. And the promotion themselves actually have some comedy in it, so it makes it more interesting to watch. Fun
Itself costs over $500, including the storyboards, the editing, the music. If you want to count the model kits the characters are based on, that's a lot more too. If it was fully animated, it would cost thousands on top of what I already made. In a world where kids make all of those mistakes, they run the school, it sounds like it would be a world of fun and games, and some days it is.
After watching the trailer, questions about the show. Why style the show be in? How does the aging work? And even what after Indiegogo? This is also noting the many comments asking how the world works. Mr. Enter released another video answering nearly some of the questions. Animation is expensive. What style is he going for? Would we say rig-based animation and Toon Boom? Frame-by-frame animation all around? Will it be like any Filmation production where the characters stand around and talk? And also, with this much money for the first episode, how low would that be? Why wasn't it that low in the first place? This was, say, a movie as a short film, in essence, the 350,000 would be sufficient. Say if Has Been Hotel didn't get picked up, and instead wanted to be a short film, I can easily see Vivzy rating 350,000. Again, but when asked about further funding, Mr. Enter said, of course, this is keeping in mind budget-wise, prepare the show, will be Hell of a Boss, they have frequent promotion and the merge, keep engaged with the fans, and they do all the these characters. Go watch my 2 videos to see my in-depth feelings. Okay,
Probably going to try and fund an animatic to show people what the animation can do, and then do another crowdfunding campaign to get that animated. Maybe not with television quality animation.
Okay. All while this was happening, Tom Scott, of all people, reached out to Mr. Enter with a tweet, stating the project wouldn't reach its goal. They had a heart-to-heart about the concept.
I really do like his advice, and he seems like the person I'd most trust to follow the advice. After all, he has done a crowdfunding for...
As the Indiegogo drew to a close, did Mr. Enter get the money? Did Mr. Enter deliver on the project? When it is the present day, and you see some animation on the screen, no, he didn't. But of course, all wasn't lost. Mr. Enter did raise $1,000. That's very good. One that even enter
Has growing around sort of pushed you to be a lot more socially active?
Yes.
Like,
yes, it has. I mean, the people that I've worked with have been some of my best friends that I've ever had.
because think about it. Like this video you're doing right here, I don't believe you've collaborated with someone on a... I mean, you did the Steam Hands video.
Yeah.
But, like, before that, I don't believe you've collabed with someone for years.
I think the last one was the guy in 2014. Wow.
Yeah,
So that's the end of the video, right? The Indiegogo failed, Mr. Enter got humbled, and now he's off doing new, brighter things, yeah?
No. Check the runtime of the video and subscribe. Despite me getting in contact with Neofla and even Sarah, a former editor of Mr. Enter, I was unable to get in contact with, well, Mr. Enter. As he states, I don't do interviews. See, with the likes of Pizza and Ellis Mark, although they have been making reviews for the longest time, they actually evolved their style. For Mr. Enter, it's just a PNG in front of another PNG, and then he shows clips with not much flair. Riveting stuff all around, but in late 2019 with not much flair. Riveting stuff all around, but in late 2019 he gave himself a challenge. In the month of December, he wanted to review every single Nickelodeon show that month. You'd think he was crazy. Yeah, as in order to achieve this, he'd have to review multiple series per day, which makes each review poorly made, as he doesn't have enough time to properly watch and critique each show. To quote Disney, you can't listen to an album created in a day. It's just impossible. This caused Rama to leave it next year. Themselves overwhelmed into departures of Twitter and platforms and for the same reason. I suppose this might be a natural progression. He stay, so gets hate. In any event, he actually